Ignoring your intrusive thoughts is overrated. Sometimes chaos is the answer. Have you ever thought about what would happen if you let your intrusive thoughts win? Those random insane thoughts that pop into your head at the worst times and make you think you're crazy? Like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden you see a group of people and your brain says they're 10 points each? Or you're chilling at the airport and there's some annoying kids running around so your brain tells you to put your foot out? Disclaimer, these ideas are for example purposes only and are not meant to actually be done. Keep these thoughts inside your head. In reality, you would never listen to any of these insane thoughts. Well, I hope you wouldn't. But in this anime, our MC has no choice but to listen to the voice inside his head. It's as if he has no free will. Speaking about free will and philosophical ideas, this anime starts off with a look into the power of choices and how they've made the world what it is today. How many things would be different if historical figures made another choice? Would we still have electricity, science, art? More importantly, would my day have been more productive if I didn't play League for 10 hours? I should really take a break from League. Now, this realistic look on choices takes a quick 180 as we are introduced to our MC, where he is portrayed as a good guy returning missing items. But what's this? A naughty magazine on the ground? He wouldn't dare look at that, would he? Now you're probably thinking this guy is a total perv. I didn't sign up to watch hentai trash. Akuma, what are you recommending to me? Hey, I understand how this looks, but allow me to ease your worries. My mental choices are completely interfering with my school romantic comedy. It's not all about the fan service.
You weren't supposed to be into it?
Well, joke's on you. I'm into it.
And Kanade isn't a natural creep. This situation is thanks to his curse called Absolute Choice, where at random times he is given two options and must choose one. Or he suffers extremely agonizing migraines, and I'll tell you, I've had plenty of migraines in my life and I would absolutely choose to do the most wild things if it meant instant relief. Again, you're probably thinking, will Kanade get put into more pervy situations? The short answer is yes. The choices presented have a tendency to be degenerate, but not always. Okay, I'll be honest and say this anime definitely falls more on the ecchi side with plenty of fan service and unnecessary panty shots.
Nice.
But gets balanced with a good amount of comedy and surprising slice of life moments. This anime has Kanade's life becoming a series of socially crippling events, and I have to say I'm honestly impressed that he hasn't, rage quit at this point. I mean, how would you function if your everyday life was a comedy sketch written by a sadistic god? Luckily for Kanade, he gets a change in options. Something good is actually happening to him. The heavens decide to show some mercy by offering an unbelievable choice. Every boy's dream. Would you like a kawaii girl to fall from the sky? I mean, what guy in their right mind would turn that down? Why can't that happen to me?
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Anyway, we find out that she was sent to help Kanade with his curse. Turns out, she's as useless as pineapple on pizza, or the only thing she's really good for is looking kawaii and eating all your snacks. After dealing with this sugar-addicted girl for a while, Kanade gets a call from someone claiming to be God?
From the kingdom of heaven, please welcome God!
This god informs Kanade that he was the one who sent the helper and wanted to provide more information about absolute choice. After a brief montage of proving that he is in fact God, he then informs Kanade that he is stuck with this curse, and that as an all-powerful god, he doesn't even know how to get rid of it. I mean, he's a god. How can he not fix it? He can delete your nudie collection, but he can't remove a curse? Seems like he's almost as useless as...
私が何も分かってないということを思い出しました。
In better news, Kanade learns that he has to complete a few more missions and he's rid of this curse forever. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. If he messes even one of these missions up, he is stuck with absolute choice. Can you imagine living every day knowing that you may be put into situations that may or may not get you into trouble or embarrass you beyond the limits of any sane person? I think I'd rather... Even with all the comedy and panties, there's something more here. This show pretends it's just a simple romantic comedy, but beneath all the chaos, it's really asking the deep questions. Like, how do the choices you make, even the small ones, impact your life and those around you? Kanade is put into some pretty wild situations that don't just affect him. A lot of these choices are affecting those around him, and it really does make him think harder about what's the right choice to make. There are a few times where he decides to choose an option that doesn't work in his favor, but it helps avoid bringing others into his curse. This concept of taking others into consideration is something I think a lot of people don't do. Many people out there are so focused on themselves that they don't care about how they're hurting others or affecting those around them. Just like yesterday, there was this guy in front of me at line and he bought the last chocolate mochi donut even when he knew I wanted it. I hate that guy. Another concept this anime brings up is about acceptance and understanding others. We get a good glimpse of this when Kanade gets a mission of getting people to admit that they like him. He learns that he has people around him that actually do like him as a person, despite his flaws or his pervy tendencies. This message of acceptance I feel can hit hard for those who think they would never be accepted for being different. I'll say that I personally went through this in high school like many others did, as my interests changed and anime became a bigger part of my life. New anime watchers, you have it a little easier because anime has become a bit more mainstream. But when I got into it all those years ago, people thought I was a weirdo. Luckily, I had friends that were into the same things and they accepted me for who I was, which made things a lot easier. I'm glad that this anime did incorporate those concepts so that it wasn't just panty shots and opie overload. Or maybe I look too deep into this and it's just a bunch of random gags strung together by the flimsiest plot ever. But hey, I was there for the ride anyway. This anime was a blast from the past and you can definitely tell from the writing. But I'd say it's worth a watch as it really does have unique concepts and moments that will either have you dying laughing or cringing out of your seat. The main takeaway here is to really consider the outcomes and who is affected by your choices. And no matter how hard you try to hide your special collection, Kami-sama will know where to find it. Thanks for watching.